Cheryl, will you open us up with a blessing?
Before I pray, I just wanted to say something to the girls, if that's okay. Your lives matter. And the investment that we're making in your life, I believe, will have a ripple effect beyond your imagination. I believe that the impact that you make in your area of study will last beyond your years. And our prayer for you and our wish for you, our hope for you, is that you have an understanding of the value that you bring to the world and that your life matters. What you do matters. What you impact matters. And we're grateful that you said yes to this. Let's pray. Father, we're so thankful for who you are. We're thankful, God, that you are our Father, that you're our God. We're thankful, Lord, that you provide for us in ways that sometimes are surprising to us. And as I think about these beautiful young ladies who are sitting in front of us, I pray, God, that you would keep them all the days of their lives. God, would you surround them with community who will challenge them to do the right thing, that would support them, Father, when they need support, that will speak a word of encouragement to them when they need it. Father, I pray for their legacy and the thing that you called them to do on this earth. May they walk with confidence. May they walk with assurance. And may they know that they're not in this alone, that we have their back, that we're supporting them, even though we're not with them in person, that we support them and we're cheering them on. And then, Father, we lift up this mission, Girls of Legacy, and Rebecca Contreras, and everything, God, that you've called her to do. Would you continue to bless everything that she sets her hand to? I pray that the fragrance that is Rebecca Contreras would linger after she leaves, and that it would leave a touch of grace and peace and hope to the people she leaves behind. And God will be careful to give you glory. In your name, amen.
Thank you for coming to our second Girls of Legacy.
I'm going to bring Elizabeth up to give a few remarks and then introduce Sylvia.
What an incredible event, and I love that we're all here together and to see so many incredible young women that you have given so much, Rebecca, to raise the level of our girls and our women, because they're already becoming women, and more are coming to the forefront for all of us to be able to give, to be able to make this happen. I really am impressed meeting each one of you and continuing to get to know you as the years go by, and the mentorship. Much like you, I also had incredible mentors growing up. I came here as a 13-year-old from Venezuela, did not know the language, had to get really fast wound up, and with a big family, 7 kids, and I, had to put one foot in front of the other, like we all do. We all have to put one foot, and the hard work and the concentration got me to, at 16, to go to Rice University, and I just worked my butt off to be able to do that, because education is where it really is at, and I felt very blessed to be there, but also I knew that I had worked hard to get there, and to learn the language and be able to have the things that I wanted, and one of them, my biggest dream was being a producer. And again, these whispers come to you, and you don't know where they come from. You don't realize that it's those whispers that speak to you that will make the way for you as you develop those talents. And that's my big gift to you, that if you develop your God-given talents, they're going to make the way for you to be able to have the dreams of your heart. So just know that. And that is in the Proverbs. So know that it is written. I also was asked by Rebecca, which is such a huge blessing and such an honor to introduce Silvia Acevedo, who I had experienced her, just heard about her, but I'd never had the benefit to spend time with her. And yesterday we had a wonderful lunch and really got to hear her and hear her heart and how much she lives every day her message and her life. And we are fellow Girl Scouts. So we have that in common. I was a Girl Scout in Venezuela. And, our motto is be prepared. But I went back and was like, but it was, what's the meaning of be prepared? And a Girl Scout, and it says in the handbook, a Girl Scout is ready to help out wherever she's needed. Willingness to serve is not enough. You must know how to do the job well, even in an emergency. And after reading about her and really getting to know her and hear her, I realized that she is the living example of that motto. And I want to thank you for that. She started her career as a rocket scientist, which is kind of awesome to say that. She's awesome that way. And she worked for the Jet Propulsion Labs at NASA, which is a NASA division, and worked on the Voyager mission 2 mission, and then also held many executive positions. But the things that are the most incredible things about her is her tenacity to be an advocate for women and girls in the sciences and STEM specifically. She has gone through her life going to the younger versions of you. We spoke just now about the Ann Richards School for Young Women in Excellence, and how she was a part of starting that, which to me is an incredible mission to create that, because that school specifically goes for STEM and with young women starting in the 6th grade. It's a public school here that is for young girls in Austin, and it's incredibly well thought out and everything that they get taught throughout, getting them to find their way in the world of STEM. That includes technology, includes all of those things. I also was blown away by the fact that she's Dr. Silvia Acevedo. And she's the first Latina or Latino, both, to earn a graduate Master of Science degree from Stanford University. And also the first Latina or Latino to receive an honorary doctorate of science from Duke University. That's a very big deal. I hope I got those right. And while she was here, though, her eyes lit up explaining what she did while she was working here in Austin and started her own business. But what lit her up when she was speaking to us at lunch was the initiatives she took with the young kids in school here in Austin, to the young Latinos and the parents. And it included not just the Latino kids, but benefiting all the little kids. And how much she went about creatively uniting all the different forces. Every time she heard a no, and she equated it to the Girl Scouts, when they sell you cookies, know this: they have to, receive 3 no's before they let go. Good to know. So she just kept going. Everything she's done is, somebody says no, then she goes, okay, then I need to go this way. So in her science, her creativity, her heart is so creative to make change and make things happen, that educational campaigns that help tens of thousands of children and parents to create support that included basic services, but also the support for the parents to, in their language, to be able to help their kids in their education journey here in Austin. And that's a huge, big deal, because the White House noticed what she was doing and brought her to become the chair of the White House Initiative in 2010 for Educational Excellence for Hispanics in Early Childhood. That's how much the impact of what she did here mattered and was seen, which is huge. And then she became her heart's always been service and science, and they all go together because her position has brought her to a place of being able to show that women matter and that we are, the strength of communities. We see things differently, even with our scientific brains. And so she decided to take on being the CEO of the Girl Scouts, which is a big deal because that's how she started. And she knew that so much of her heart was from being a Girl Scout. And so she can talk about it, because I'm sure she's going to, about the initiatives that she took on there. And it had to do with girls training in robotics and cybersecurity. Girl Scouts. Whoa, pretty amazing. Automotive engineering, entrepreneurship, the badges became something that was STEM related. And I find that so fascinating, she brought a whole different level of knowledge and opening their eyes to things they may be really good at in this world of ours today. So I also love the fact that she's an author, and she will share that with us. But the memoir that she wrote, Path to the Stars, My Journey from Girl Scout to Rocket Scientist, was written from the 4 middle schoolers to inspire them to see the world and open up to whatever whatever talents, whatever they have. And that's how she is so humble that way, to choose that as the way she writes her memoir. Very moving to me. Then the last part that I want to share is all the amazing accolades, recognitions. I did write a few down. She was Forbes America Top 50 Women in Tech. The Fast Company named her 100 Most Creative People in Business. And she also won the Hispanic Heritage Award for Leadership. But my personal favorite is InStyle Magazine named her in 2019. She was the Badass 50. That's right. Meet the women who changed the world. And here's to somebody that I honor and blessed and thankful.
Very much. That was, really creative and innovative, and I loved it. So thanks all of you. Rebecca, thank you so much for this. Girls, thank you for being here and inspiring all of us. And all of you, thank you for taking time to be here as well. I lived in Austin for 14 years, so it really feels very comfortable and home for me. And I'm so grateful for a lot of those initiatives that we did work on. I feel like the fingerprints are still there. And, I'm very grateful for her really kind introduction. And, a lot of times people do focus, like, how did you go rocket scientist, tech exec, entrepreneur, White House commissioner, author, and CEO of the Girl Scouts, and then now corporate board director. So that's normally how I get introduced. But today I'm going to start my remarks by asking a question in a different way. There's another way to introduce me. So a girl, all her grandparents, so imagine in your eye a young girl, young Latina girl, all her grandparents are from Mexico. Her mom's from Mexico, her dad's from El Paso. And growing up and having a lot of challenges with money, sometimes we didn't have any money, we had to go live with other family members. 11 people, 1 bathroom. And our family, because we struggled, sometimes the only place we could afford to live is on a dirt road. And the last meningitis epidemic in the United States hit my neighborhood. And my younger sister, who was the smartest of us all, got sick with meningitis, and her brain was forever changed. And she became special, but more in the Special Olympics way. So I want to ask you, how did that girl from a small English Spanish-speaking household, family struggled with money, major traumas, how did she grow up to be that person that Elizabeth introduced? And that's kind of the theme of my remarks today. And I actually didn't know the answer to that question. And in the mid-aughts, I got a phone call from Stanford University, and Stanford said, we're doing some research, and we're trying to figure out like, how was it? Because you really were one of the very first Latinas or Latinos to get a graduate engineering degree from Stanford. And it's highly competitive, because if you get a graduate engineering degree from Stanford, the door to Silicon Valley is open. And everyone from around the world wants to be there. So they're like, so how did you do it? Because at the time, we weren't even interviewing and recruiting from Las Cruces, New Mexico, where you grew up. And also, not only did we, so how did you know about it? Not only and how did you know about it, the other question is, like, how did you get in? And once you got in, how did you, like, finish and have this amazing career? And I didn't know. And so I thought about that, and I realized that there were some transformative decisions, really some really important people that made differences in my life, the difference makers in my life. And I'll start with the Girl Scouts. That my troop leader, when one time, the first time I went camping, I think I was in a sugar coma after eating my first s'more. And it's beautiful New Mexico, dark skies, and so you could see all the stars. And she looked at me, my troop leader sat next to me, and she said, those are constellations, and those are planets. And as a young girl, I didn't know that there was a difference. I just thought they were twinkling lights. And she remembered that. So later on, it was time to earn our badges, and she said, why don't you earn a science badge? And I said, well, I want to earn a cooking badge like all my friends. And she said, you can do both, okay? But she really encouraged me to do a science badge. And she said, remember you were looking at the stars, so why don't you do something around stars in space? So I decided to make a rocket. So I got an Estes rocket, assembled it, failed. Did it again, failed. Did it again, failed. Did it again, it failed again. This is the fourth time it failed. Now think about it. If I think I'd been in a classroom, the teacher would have come and said, Sylvia, it's not for you. But in Girl Scouts, it's like, failure is first attempt at learning. And so instead, we kept going at it, and on that sixth time, my rocket went up. But what it did is it taught me I can do science. I can do math. And so then at that point, I thought, I have that confidence that I could do that. So when you're a kid and you do something like math and you're good at it, you want to do more of it. And because I was good at it and I did more of it, I got even better at it. And I got so good I became a rocket scientist. But the other thing, Girl Scouts, and Elizabeth mentioned it, was my troop leader said, never walk away from a sale or an opportunity until you hear no 3 times. And, remember, growing up in that Spanish-speaking monolingual household, that was really a big deal, right? Because we were taught not to talk to adults first. It's a hard way to sell cookies. So learning how to deal with rejection. So that 7-year-old girl, I began really trying to figure out, how do you get to a yes? When somebody tells a no, how do you get to that yes? So I began developing that muscle. So when I was in high school and I signed up to go to college, I was in the lobby, and the college counselor looks at me, and she says, what are you doing here? And I said, well, I signed up to go to college. And she said, girls like you don't go to college. I know, harsh, statistically accurate at the time, but still the wrong thing for any educator. But remember, at that time, that muscle, what was that to me? It was my first no. I stood up, I went into her office and sat down. She had no choice to follow me. She followed me and she said, okay, what do you want to do? What do you want to study? And I said, I want to be an engineer. She laughed out loud. What did I do? I became a rocket scientist. But, another difference maker was my 4th grade teacher who held that vision of everything I could be. One day, she showed different colleges and universities. And remember, I grew up in Las Cruces, New Mexico, the Chihuahua Desert, the 3rd harshest desert in the world. She showed this picture of Stanford, beautiful green hills, red tile roof, limestone building, and I blurted out, I want to go there. And I think I meant I want to go there just to see it, not to go there. But my teacher, Mrs. Baldwin, gets up from her desk, walks over to my desk, and looks at me and says, Sylvia, that's one of the best universities in America, maybe the world. And she said, you're a smart girl. You can go there. Yeah. So at 9 years old, I said, I'm going to Stanford. And so I figured out everything I needed to do, get good grades, right, extracurricular. But when I was in 11th grade, my grandmother was visiting from Mexico and went to Los Angeles to visit one of my aunts. And she got a virus and she died. And my aunt was a single mom with 2 sons. And she couldn't afford a burial. Now, who's seen the movie Coco? Okay, if you've seen the movie Coco, you know a Mexican family cannot allow that to happen. And so we desperately needed money. But remember, my family was challenged with money. But there was one person who had been saving because she had a dream to go to Stanford. And that was me. So the next day, my father and I, early in the day, we went to the bank as soon as it opened. Went to the bank manager and I said, I need to cash in all my CDs. I was studying so hard to go to Stanford. I had to put money in CDs. I was studying how do I get the most money? And I got all that money, enough money to bury my grandmother, and I gave it to my dad. And I thought, I'm going to get to Stanford, but at first it's going to be a dream deferred but not denied. So then I said, okay, I'm going to New Mexico State. I can afford that. I got scholarships, and then I stayed focused. I said, what do I need to do to go to Stanford? And so I stayed focused, got really good grades, did a lot of extracurricular. And then I did get accepted to Stanford. And when I got that letter, I was really excited. And then I thought, how am I going to pay for it? I didn't think about that part. And I went home, and my mom said, this man called you. You need to call him back. He's Dr. Howard Adams, and he wants to talk to you about Stanford. So I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. I call him, and he said, hi, I'm Dr. Howard Adams, and I want to tell you that I congratulate you because you're getting all your Stanford education paid for. And I'm like, who are you? And he said, I'm one of the first African-American men who's ever gotten their doctorate in engineering. And he said, I really see the future of America, and we need to make sure that all kids, especially kids of promise, that regardless of their background, get a chance to get an education in the graduate level at the best engineering schools in America. So I've gotten a deal with Cornell, with MIT, with Berkeley, with Stanford, and I said to them, whenever a kid, especially from an underrepresented area, comes in and gets accepted, you call me. And he said, and then I went all over the country recruiting people to try to be part of this program. And he said, when I went to Stanford, the guy said, that kind of never happens. This is Stanford. And the guy said, well, look, I'm going to give you my card. And so whenever it happens that some kid from underrepresented gets into Stanford and doesn't know how to pay, you call me. Wow. And so he said years passed, and then one day, Howard Adams gets a call and he goes, it happened. This is this girl from Las Cruces, New Mexico, who's gotten accepted into Stanford. And so Dr. Adams called me, and I said, so how did you know? You didn't even recruit, Stanford, you didn't even recruit in Las Cruces. He said, I didn't know you, but I knew the promise of you. And so, Dr. Adams, he had looked at the future and looked at the future of America, and he did what he could do to be a difference maker. And so, I really think about that because, just recently, before I came here, I looked at the demographics of Texas. And between 2010 and 2018, I don't know if you guys know, but the number of children being birthed in this state is awesome. It's amazing. And if you just look at the number of children or youth under the age of 18 in Texas, it's 7.4 million. You go, so what? Okay, that means just the youth in Texas, people under 18, are as large. They're like a state, the 13th largest state in America. That's like in between Arizona and Colorado. That's how many kids are under 18. If you look at Latinos, that's every other kid. Every other kid under 18 in this state. It's 3.7 million. To put it in perspective, all the baby boomers in Texas, 3.4 million. Wow. So there's 3.7 million. There's more Latino kids under 18 than there are baby boomers, people over 65. I look at that, but you all, that's the future, right? Yeah. That is our future. Yeah. So we all have to be the difference makers. Just like Dr. Adams looking at the future and seeing hope and saying, I can make a difference. We can all make a difference. So, when you think about it, we do not all, we all can be the difference in somebody's life. So kind of in closing, I want to start at the beginning. So how did that girl from a family who struggled with poverty, had big traumas, had lots of challenges, how did that girl from the dirt roads get to have a life that lived her potential? That was thanks to difference makers. The Girl Scout troop leaders, the teachers, the Dr. Howard Adams. But that's like all of you in the room. You're a difference maker as well. You're a difference maker in the lives of all these girls. And when you're thinking about that, the future of Texas is like right here in front of you. And we may not all share a past, but we all share a future. And we have the ability to design that future and support the future. So thank you very much for being here.
Little Alicia came all the way in from Texas A&M today. She rearranged her class schedule to be here. She is a STEM major, so she's going to share her backstory with you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Alicia Murphy. I graduated from Title I high school last year, David Crockett High School, and now I'm attending the Texas A&M University. Thank you very much. A little bit about me. I migrated here from Jamaica about 5 years ago, and in Jamaica, as many don't know, about 50% is living in poverty, and life wasn't always easy there. And I'm actually enrolling at A&M as a bio major to become a pediatrician. And my long-term goal is to one day travel back to Jamaica and assist the health system there. Because in third world countries, the health system were not so advanced as Americans. And the health system there also impacted my family personally. Also affected my mom because she had a baby girl and she passed away because of lack of resources. So that's why I'm striving my very best to attend A&M, med school, or wherever the best opportunity is for me to make an impact and going back home and doing that. And lastly, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys for being here supporting us, because that shows how committed and how dedicated you are in supporting us in our dreams and goals to come.
For me, Girls of Legacy, it's more than a community. It's like a family, that family that is always there for you and helps you to be better every day. When I meet Miss Rebecca and I hear about her life story, I could see myself reflecting her. So Rebecca is a woman who, no matter what happened, wants to move on and be the woman she is today. So I want the same for my life. I want to be that strong and independent woman. My main object, and I think is the reason why we are all here, is to have our career. Something that I saw so impossible to do in my country. Today I'm doing it thanks to Girls of Legacy, and I cannot be more than grateful to have this opportunity. Thank you.
My name's Andrea and I'm part of the Girls of Legacy. What the Girls of Legacy means to me is just family, just because I know that if I need help with any school situation or just personal life things, I can go ahead and text Miss Rebecca or just anyone on her team and they'll be able to guide me through the right steps. Miss Rebecca has really impacted my life because I know that I am not alone. I used to think that I wasn't going to go to college just because it is a lot of money to put towards. But with Miss Rebecca's help, I was able to go to dental assisting school, and I went ahead and got my license for that. And when I told her that I wanted to go ahead and possibly go back to school, she really pushed for it just because I know she wants me to be someone out there in life, because at the end of the day, a lot of people do struggle to go back to school just because of how financially stable they are or unstable they are. But she's told me that she has my back. She is going to be here for me every step of the way, and that if I ever need her, just go ahead and give her a call.
To me, Girls of Legacy means a group of women empowering each other to achieve their personal and career goals. This program is able to connect you with like-minded girls who share the same drive and passion for being successful, while at the same time giving you guidance and encouragement to be the best version of yourself. The most impactful thing I learned when starting to get to know Miss Rebecca was her perseverance. And while you may not have a perfect childhood and all the resources laid out for you to be successful, you're not bound to be unsuccessful. A goal I hope the Girls of Legacy program can help me achieve is to be successful one day enough to help empower women the same way Miss Rebecca has empowered us.
One of my biggest goals is to get into medical school, which on its own is pretty big to do by yourself. So having the support group I'm really thankful for it, because I can be able to achieve my goal and have a chance to achieve my goal. They help me with tools and they support me throughout my journey, and I'm very thankful to have that. Anytime that anything can get hard, I know that I can reach out to this group, and I know that they'll support me and they'll help me, and if they'll find me the tools that I need to get back on my feet, and it's just really nice to have. Overall, Girls of Legacy has impacted my life very positively, and I'm excited for the many years to come with them.
Hi, my name's Izzy. I'm a first year at the University of San Francisco as a sociology major, and I am so glad to be a part of the Girls of Legacy program, because it doesn't just allow mentorship, but it allows community in a space where I get to see girls like me accomplishing their dreams, and also being able to connect and work together is so incredibly important, especially as independent women in the world like we're in today, that, you know, you need to push more and work harder as a woman. And so it's really cool to see that from my peers, but also to see that from Rebecca and see all the great things that she gets to do and that hopefully one day I get to do. And that's why it means so much for me to be a part of the Girls of Legacy program.
Thank you so much. If somebody had told me when I was 17, a high school dropout, single mom, living in East Austin in abject poverty, Rebecca, one day you're going to be an advisor to the leader of the free world, I would have fallen over. All of that is because of Clay Johnson, my mentor, my difference maker 25 years ago, who believed in me. All of that is because of Donna Reynolds, who brought me into government, who introduced me to Clay. Difference makers. So girls, I've told you this before, if I can do it and I was a dropout, you guys can do it because you're staying in school.